According to Reuters news service, two of the terrorists went to a topless bar a few nights before the attack. While at the bar, they were supposedly obnoxious, had lots of drinks, and each spent over $200 for lap dances. The story goes on to say they talked about how America was going to suffer and conveniently left business cards. Oh, one more thing. Being faithful Muslims, they also left a Holy Koran. Sure. The spin doctors must have been drunk when they came up with this story. They want us to believe fundamental Muslims who are going to give their lives for Allah would go to a strip bar, get drunk, which is against Islamic law, tell the world what they're going to do, and then leave their business cards and a Quran. The only thing more amazing than this story is that most Americans seem to believe it.
Do you think stability will prevail over there?
If you get out of Iraq and leave it in chaos, Iran comes in, takes over, all right? And then we basically have a 10 times worse situation because the oil flow then goes under the jihadists in Iran. You want to debate geopolitics with me? Do you really?
It's all about oil. You just answered the question.
Absolutely, it's all about oil. The whole world is about oil.
That's right. It's all about oil. That's why we're there. Big deal.
The show's not...
Of course, the
Yeah,
Al-Qaeda in Iraq still operating.
You see it on TV, and that's the power of an enemy that is willing to kill innocent people. 12 million people voted last December. Admittedly, it seems like a decade ago. I like to tell people when the final history is written on Iraq, it'll look like just a comma. I'm impressed by President Maliki. I've talked to him. I've seen the decision-making process that he's put in place. The Iraqi army is still recruiting and training.
You weren't upset when he went to Tehran, gave a big hug and a kiss to Ahmadinejad?
Excuse me for a minute. I was on a brilliant point, as you know. The Iraqi government and the Iraqi military...
I woke up in New York like you did this morning. I read...
What are you reading there?
The New York Times. There's a paragraph in here. I'll read it to you.
Well?
About your dad's former Secretary of State, James Baker. In his 1995 memoir, Mr. Baker said he opposed ousting Saddam Hussein in the Persian Gulf War in 1991 because he feared that such action might lead to an Iraqi civil war, to criticism from many of our allies, and to an eventual loss of American support for an occupation.
Yeah. He was writing before September the 11th, 2001. And the world changed that day, Wolf.
But Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11.
Excuse me for a minute, please. The world changed that day because we had to deal with threats. No question, Saddam Hussein did not order the attacks. On the
Pope, he's got some controversy right now over what he said about Islam. Did he do the right thing? Did he? What do you think of this uproar?
I think he needs. I was appreciative of the fact that he tried to clarify what he meant. This is a struggle not between religions, and that's what people have got to understand. It's a struggle between people who use religion to kill, and those of us who are for peace. And to the extent that that issue gets muddied up, it confuses people. And so the clarity helps people get back to the real issue we face. People say this is a struggle of civilizations. I strongly disagree with that. I think this is a struggle for civilization. And to the extent that the Pope clarified the issue, I think it helps those of us who are trying to make it clear to the Muslim world in particular, we're not fighting Islam.
Is it a mistake to use that phrase, Islamic fascists?
That's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to extremists and radicals, totalitarians. The point I was making is these people share a common ideology. We're not fighting Islam.
Is it a mistake to use that phrase, Islamic fascists?
I strongly stand by my decision to remove Saddam Hussein.
And you don't look back with any regrets?
I regret when people lose lives. I regret when people lose lives. The terrorists attacked us and killed 3,000 of our citizens before we started the freedom agenda in the Middle East. What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
He said there were three main reasons for going to war in Iraq: weapons of mass destruction, the claim that Iraq was sponsoring terrorists who had attacked us on 9/11, and that Iraq had purchased nuclear materials from Niger. All three of those turned out be false.
First, just if I might correct a misperception, I don't think we ever said, at least I know I didn't say, that there was a direct connection between September the 11th and Saddam Hussein. We did say that he was the state sponsor of terror. I was very careful never to say that Saddam Hussein ordered the attacks on America.
Then that must have been a different George W. Bush who gave the State of the Union address on January 28, 2003.
Saddam Hussein aids and protects terrorists, including members of Al-Qaeda. Secretly and without fingerprints, he could provide one of his hidden weapons to terrorists or help them develop their own. Before September the 11th, many in the world believed that Saddam Hussein could be contained.
No more lies. No more lies. No more lies.
In terms of the war on terror, who do you think should be the next country to invade?
Saudi Arabia.
Somebody in the Middle East.
We'll make a big glass crater out of the fucking Middle East, for all I care. I'm thinking Italy.
Italy.
Cuba.
Cuba?
Yeah.
Iran.
Iran? Why is that?
I think there's a revolution going on pretty soon.
Russia, China,
India and Pakistan.
Indonesia, Brazil.
Korea.
Korea?
Sure.
Yeah, why do you say that?
They're trouble.
They're trouble? Yep, okay. What's trouble about them?
Their attitude.
Canada.
Sri Lanka? Right here. Never heard of it.
Iran?
Iran?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, do you want to put a number one in Iran there?
South. Where are we?
Yeah. I'm thinking then.
Okay.
North Korea.
North Korea? Why do you think North Korea?
Nuclear.
Nuclear?
Yeah. Probably France.
France?
Oh, because of
okay.
They weren't our
All right.
allies.
Want to put number two on France? Why would you say France? Yeah?
Oh no, just there seemed to be some friction between France and the United States.
Where do you think the best place to invade Iran would be from? Think it'd be from the north or the south or the east or the west?
I think it's to the east.
West.
You know, and it's amazing because I just realized just now that North Korea is a lot larger than South Korea. I didn't know it was that large like that.
Other than Iraq, how many countries should the US be allowed to invade during the war on terror?
Everybody
3, 6, or as many as it likes?
As many as we like,
And why do you say that?
because we are the superpower. We control the world.
Actually, as many as we have to, so as many as they like. Let's go with 3.
3, and why do you choose that one?
Because in certain circumstances, with countries harboring terrorists, we have the right to go in and get them and kill them like they're killing us.
7.
7. Okay, why 7?
Well, that's the ones involved in it. We know about that, so.
Right, okay, which 7 are they?
Well, I don't want to name those.
Shit, everybody other than Great Britain.
What about Australia?
Australia better get in line and go hang out with Great Britain and leave us alone.
Those we know are involved.
Right.
That's what we're doing, surgically removing those involved. The innocent people won't get hurt if we can help it.
To properly avenge September 11, how many Iraqi civilians should the US kill? A, the same number as the September 11 death toll, B, 10 times the September 11 death toll, or C, unlimited?
As many as they need to.
The same, just to even it out, I guess.
Unlimited. Unlimited? And that could range from anything of the whole of Baghdad to whatever's needed.
The whole country. Whatever.
No, I think we should have blew up the whole country.
It's horrible to have like civilian casualties, but as many as needed.
Civilians,
Civilians, yeah.
they better get out the way.
They can make the whole country into a big glass parking lot for all I care.
What do you think the US invasion of Iraq should be called? A, Operation God's Fist, B, The Empire Strikes Back, or C, The Final Solution?
I like God's fist
Why do you like that one?
because God's wrath is upon their heads.
Final solution.
Why do you like that one?
Cause that's the way it should be, the final solution. The people, once they see what we're doing, they're going to get behind us.
I think it should be called Vote for Me on Election Day. Final solution. Finishing it up then.
Right, okay.
Is there Iraqi fresh?
What's an appropriate amount of Baghdad for the US military to destroy? A, at least half of it, B, all of it, C, only the bits where people live.
Guess all of it. No reason.
All of it.
All of it. Why do you say that?
It's just what I believe. They came over and I don't know. I just have my beliefs. If they want to come over here and do that crap, then we should go. I don't know. I don't even have a problem with just destroying the whole city.
How would you feel about the US using nuclear weapons against Iraq? A, support it, B, strongly support it, or C, can't understand what we're waiting for?
Can't understand why we're waiting.
Right.
So
None of the above unless they strike first, then incinerate the bloody bastards and take them straight to hell like we did the Japanese in the Second